comes as a result of people preferring its products and not anti-competitive behavior.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks. Today, the growing pressure on the British government to take a tougher line against China. It's coming from within the ranks of Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's governing Conservative Party after news was revealed that a parliamentary researcher was arrested last March, suspected of spying for Beijing. The researcher denies those allegations, but they've led to calls for the UK to label China a threat to Britain. Tim Marshall is a foreign affairs analyst and author of The Future of Geography.
A one-party state dictatorship hostile to the UK is attempting to infiltrate it and hollow it out from the inside. It is widely known in security circles that China is deeply inserted inside many of our establishments and is buying up utilities. It's inside our universities. It is inside our parliament. And I think the establishment, most of them know this, but because of Chinese financial power, many of them take a soft line on it. And so those people that are concerned about this are pretty cross that they were not informed about this alleged presence in their midst. What, for 6 months?
Prime Minister Rishi Sunak raised the case with the Chinese premier at the G20 summit in Delhi over the weekend and says lawmakers are rightly appalled by the news of the arrest. China is calling the accusations of espionage malicious slander. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
And a reminder now of the hour's top story. At least 2,000 people have been killed. Thousands more are missing after a devastating flood ripped through Libya's eastern city of Derna. Authorities say the disaster happened after heavy rain damaged the city's dam. And that's the latest world news from Feature Story News. I'm Nina Maria Potts reporting.
Good morning. It's KCHW 102.7 getting started on a Tuesday. You got Scott Allen and my beautiful sister Valerie Hunter live from Deer Park.
Good morning.
Things weighing heavy on my mind this morning, Sister Val. The word hurricane. All right.
No.
Unlike many other things, it'll be my first time. Yeah, just news popped up a few minutes ago. It said Hurricane Lee looks like the cone is going to center itself over the entire state of Maine. So glad I moved.
What were you thinking?
What was I thinking? I'm gonna have to Google it because they say hurricanes usually don't come up this far, but because of the warming ocean waters, that it's going to happen. I'd like to see when the last time a hurricane of any kind hit the state of Maine. I'd like to find that out. So that's what I'll be snooping around the internet for today, anyways.
Oh, man. It's crazy.
It is crazy. Well, things may be a little bit better in your neck of the wood. How was the weekend, Val?
The weekend was beautiful. I mean, you couldn't ask for nicer weather. Just, low 80s and sunny and perfect. Yeah.
All right. What were you doing? Because it sounds like you might have smoked like a couple packs of cigarettes, and you don't smoke.
And I don't smoke. I don't know why I'm a little hoarse this morning. We actually went camping up in the Colville National Forest up there by Beaver Lodge. And so I had a great weekend. Yeah. No campfires, though. So it's not, smoke inhalation. So I'm not sure what it is. But yeah, it was beautiful. Perfect.
All right. You're hollering at that new dog, maybe calling him too much.
Right. Well, that could be because that was his first camping trip. And so he did really well. I mean, he's just not used to, having to stay on a leash the whole time. But yeah, our hardest part was, and this is probably a little too much information, but he went potty before we put him in the motorhome. And then when we got to the campsite, he refused. He wouldn't go to the bathroom. So it was 19 hours before he peed again.
Wow.
Yeah, and so we were at the point where we're like, squeezing him isn't going to work probably, but I'm like, maybe if we poured like cold water on his feet or something, I don't know. But
I have a feeling
finally,
Brad tried to demonstrate, though.
oh, you know it multiple times.
Still didn't work. Don't.
Still didn't work. So yeah, he finally went and had a good time. But his problem is he goes downstairs just fine, but he freaks out having to go upstairs. And so, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's in our garage, on the front deck. The only stairs he'll go up are the back deck ones. Everything else, he freaks out. So he would go down the motorhome stairs just fine. But trying to get him to go up them, you usually had to pick him up and put him in because he freaks out so bad.
Have you tried
I don't know what it is.
Have you tried treats?
Oh, yeah, tried treats. Just tried sitting at the top of the stairs and, making, oh, Jolie, all those sounds like that. He just won't do it. So I imagine at some point he'll, be a big boy and won't be afraid of stairs anymore, but it hasn't happened yet.
I had a dog once that was afraid of any smooth surface. Tile.
Yeah, he's not too...
wood floors, anything like that. And it would like come into the kitchen where there was a wooden floor and it'd come maybe 2 or 3 feet and then it'd get too scared and then it would slowly back up. Never turned around. Always backed up.
Well, Charlie is not a huge fan of our floors either, so we had to buy like runner rugs to run from the carpet to the back door because he's not a huge fan of that either. But I've never had a dog that's been quite this much of a scaredy cat. So yeah, but I'm sure he'll grow out of some of it, and he's cute enough that he skates by on some other things. So
cool. New pets are always fun till you clean up after them.
Yes, sir. And he has puppy chewing on everything, and but he seems to be housebroke, and this is me knocking on wood. Or something like that. So, yeah.
Cool.
Baby steps, puppy steps.
All right. Looking at weather today, 78. Some sun this morning, increasing clouds this afternoon. Partly cloudy skies tonight, down to 53. Nice weather going to stay with us, though. 79 for Wednesday, sunny skies. 82 by Thursday, sunny skies. 85 Friday, sunny still. Saturday, more sunshine, 86. Sunday, 83. And then looking ahead, a week ahead to next Monday, down to 75 degrees. So some very, very nice weather as you lucky folks get to enjoy a little bit more of summer. We've transitioned here on the other side of the country into rainy weather with a hurricane barreling up the coast toward us. Yay!
Oh, man, if you would have said Hurricane Maine, I just would have never thought that the two
I'm hoping it turns at the last minute or loses some force. But, I'm about... I suppose as a crow flies, probably about 45, 50 miles from the ocean. So, we won't be getting the brunt of it, but the winds will still be crazy. So, and we do have some things around here that could damage, so it can make you worry a little bit.
Yeah, and some rain. I'm sure you'll get pelted pretty good there.
Yeah. All right,
good morning, Ken.
Good morning, Ken, and good morning, Marion. I should probably check in too. All right, I'm going to do breakfast and lunch for the kids. They've got the new breakfast calendars up. So today at school for the kids, whole grain pancakes, sausage patty, fresh fruit juice, and again your choice milk. And then for lunch today, it's the Ribicue sandwich, baked beans, romaine salad, fresh veggies, fresh fruit, sunflower seeds, and your choice of milk. Again, breakfast and lunch for the kids at school.
I'm sure that the teachers are just thrilled every time they say beans on the menu.
Oh, that joke has been overused over the past 12 years, Val. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Moving on this morning, I want to start things off with our bits and breaks, and I'm going to kick it off with a quick joke. I don't know if it'll be any good. Policeman finds someone crawling on all fours in the middle of the street. Cop approaches him and asks, "What on earth do you think you're doing?" The man on the floor replies, "I've lost it." And the policeman asks him curiously, "Lost what?" And the man on the floor says, "Well, my balance, sir."
As long as it's not his lunch, too.
Ew. All right. Let's see, Val. It is time. She comes in once a week, and I wish we had it every day, but she doesn't have time for that. But she does have today's horoscope. I don't know. That kind of sounds like it might be bad. All right, Val.
My horoscopes always are. They're so bad, they're good.
Yes. This one's for Ken.
Yeah, there you go. This is for everybody, actually, because the sun is in Virgo now until September 22nd. So this will affect everyone, meaning it's time for you to get your act together. Ooh. The equilibrium of Saturn's seventh moon alignment with Pluto also puts the sun in your water axis this week. Now, this could go either way. So try not to do too much speaking or working or living.
Easy.
Yeah. Tuesday, you'll experience a surge of energy that will draw the psychos to you like kids to candy. All right. It's no wonder, really, that Halloween falls smack in the middle of the Scorpio range. That is the only time of year when fake haunting, sugar-induced hysteria, and impersonating Doctor Who won't get you arrested.
Who
as long as you stay off the ground.
Doctor Who? No, it's not.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. No, I've never thought of you doing Doctor Who for Halloween.
Now I'm really excited. Val has worked out addictions of each zodiac sign. Wow, Val. How much time did you put into this?
Every time I wasn't, like disciplining the dogs on our camping trip, I was trying to zone in on these exact qualities to watch out for each zodiac sign. Okay. So first of all, Aries, addiction, caffeine. We're all over the place,
That's not so bad. Can coffee really be an addiction?
Depends on what you put in it.
I'll keep drinking that.
Taurus. My Taurus friends out there, their addiction is eating.
Oh. I know. I would say most of my Taurus friends are a little big-boned.
Gemini, and this fits my brother to a T. Addiction, smoking.
Go ahead and run. Run home and cry to Mama.
Mom!
Cancers. Your addiction is to other people, specifically one other person.
So, codependent cancer.
Codependent cancer. Right. I've married to one. Leo, your addiction is shopping.
Wow. That's horrible.
Yeah.
That could be a problem.
Yeah. It can be a problem. Virgo, cleaning.
Okay.
Sometimes I wish I'd married a Virgo then. You clean the house. It's your addiction. Libras, they're addicted to sleeping pills.
All the Libras out there are like, what? No, I'm not. How did you say that?
Scorpios tend to be addicted to the internet.
I think that goes beyond Scorpios, maybe.
You might, especially in this day and age. Sagittarius, you might have a gambling problem. Just saying. Capricorns, they like to work a lot.
Overdo it kind of thing?
Overdo it, yeah. Aquarius, they tend to be addicted to video games.
Oh, like this?
You got asteroids?
No, but my dad does. Can't even show a toilet some days.
And then finally, last but not least, would be Pisces, and alcohol might be their addiction.
You didn't want to say it, did you?
I didn't, but, sometimes it bleeds over into Aries, I guess. Depending on if you're born on the cusp there type of thing.
All right, I'm all geared up for the quote of the day. And this one says, no one hates my love of 80s alternative rock music more than my daughter, Glycerine.
Oh, hello. How could you do that to a child?
I know. But that song, I always thought, isn't it glycerin? But they say glycerin. Maybe.
Yeah, it's glycerin, I think. Yeah, it depends on who's saying it. Ken said that he is going to dress up as a KCHW host, radio host for Halloween.
Wow, he's going to need a lot more hair. Unless he's going as Chuck. Oh.
He rocks a ponytail sometimes, though, Ken does. Yeah.
He
rocks
literally rocks it? Okay. If you say so, Val.
Yeah.
All right, let's move along this morning. It's still early, and I've got some good stuff that, well, Scott thought about in the shower. All right, probably going to make a really close friend, maybe a little upset with my first one. The first thing I thought about in the shower that, isn't it... Isn't it total irony when one of my friends from high school is a Trump supporter and he posts a meme that says, "I won't be lied to"? This is total irony, isn't it? Is it my place to explain it to him? I took a long time on that one.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
If he could have seen me in front of my computer when I read the meme, though, and how hard I laughed, I was like, oh, but you are.
But. So a little side note: we went to the Interstate Fair last night, and they actually had a booth selling the Trump mugshot T-shirts.
Really?
They did, yeah. Right. Plus an assortment of other things, all Trump.
Did you get me one so I can I wanted to do kind of like that knitting thing and put it over a dartboard?
There you go.
Okay. Just me personally. Sorry.
There you go. Yeah, it was interesting. Oh, sorry, I've got a cat molesting me. We were gone all weekend, and so she's kind of decided that maybe she missed me. So
a little bit.
Yeah,
all right,
just a little bit. Yeah.
Well, listen for your screams when she gets out the closet.
Yeah, she's trying to wash me right now, so I'm trying to avoid that.
He must have not bathed after you came back from the woods. Wow. Nice.
I must not have.
All right. More things I thought about in the shower. Nothing's on fire. Fire is on things.
Oh, gosh, you were just digging deep into your recess of your brain to come up with one that good.
Exactly. All right. The word long is shorter than the word short. It's not right. It's not right, people.
It's not.
All right, more things I thought about in the shower. The person who invented the doorbell probably didn't want to yell ding dong at people's houses. Although I do.
You do, yes.
I do.
I'm sure your daughter appreciates that too.
I miss, having the kids all grown up. I miss those camping trips with the kids when I could be like, on the other side of the RV or the tent and yell, "Are you guys sleeping yet?" I love doing that.
Speaking of, I'll interrupt again. Of course I will. Travis called us last night and asked us if we wanted to go to the fair with him. So it really brought back those memories of taking the kids to the fair and stuff like that. Only this time he, bought me a beer in the beer garden, which was different, but. Yes.
All right. People say bless you when you sneeze, but not when you cough. Because when I'm coughing, I'm still getting the demons out. All right. I actually did that to Marion the other day. She coughed and I said, bless you. And then I felt awkward.
Oh, but it is kind of nice because, you probably need it more than somebody that's just sneezing.
That's right. All right. The word non-hyphenated is hyphenated. And that's not right.
It's simply not.
It's
You're
confusing.
on the word kick today.
I am.
Did you play Scrabble over the weekend?
I've got one for you, though, Val. If you clean a vacuum cleaner, you have now become a vacuum cleaner. See how it works?
I thought you were going to say, you now suck.
Well, that too. And I think the first person to drink milk from a cow was either really brave or really thirsty.
Or both.
Or possibly both. Well, I saw other people doing it, so I thought I would do it too.
Ken thinks that the person who invented the doorbell did it to bug people in the shower.
Oh, yeah, because that makes you really nervous, doesn't it, when you know somebody's outside your house while you're showering?
Yeah,
Your
it
cat
does.
really
Kinda.
is giving you a bath. That's just
I know,
creepy
and
on camera.
I'm just trying to get her to like not. No.
All right, I'm going to give you some examples, Val, and this one's for our friends on Facebook this morning, too. Sounds that bother you the most.
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? Guys!
Or possibly this one. You like that?
No.
Right.
Not at all.
Not at all. And the last one could be, I find this annoying.
I did too.
It's so angry. Yeah. All right. Most annoying sounds. All right. Is there a sound that bothers you, like the fingernails on a chalkboard kind of thing, something like that?
We had a cat, our old Merlin, as he got older and older. And I found out later it was kind of a sign of dementia, but he would do this yowl thing in the middle of the night. And it was just, oh, yeah, it was awful.
That yowl
So
that
that
cats
was-
do, period, is kind of annoying.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, he would just in the middle of the night just yowl and yeah.
Lonely.
Poor old man. Poor old man. I think I said he didn't know where, he kind of forgot where everybody was because he had dementia. So, but he was 20. I mean,
I do the same thing if I go to bed and Marion's not there. It's kind of the way the cat does it too. All right.
Yeah, exactly. So, but what about you? I mean, other than some of the
That
ones you already mentioned.
squeaky sounds like that gate there, definitely do it to me. Styrofoam. Styrofoam actually makes my teeth hurt when you hear that sound.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
I'm weird about noises anyway, and I noticed that our dad used to be that way too a little bit. It's just, really loud noises or really irritating noises like that really bother me, I think, more than maybe other people. I don't know. So.
All right, this phone bite, this lady hates styrofoam too.
Does anybody else have like specific sounds that bother them? For me, it's styrofoam. It's styrofoam. Like styrofoam rubbing against each other.
Yes, that's. I mean, and it was a sound. I don't know if young kids know it as much as we did, but I mean, that's what you used to have was the styrofoam coolers, and so yeah.
And my next least favorite sound, sirens coming up behind me. Always bothers me.
Always.
All right, I had one more.
I was going to say that sound in the middle of the night, going back to pets, when you hear them about to throw up in the middle of the night.
Oh, that's for cat people.
Oh, dogs too sometimes, though. You're like, oh, awful sound, because you know what comes next.
Right, Ken says a sound he can't find. Yeah, like you might have a fan that the bearing's going out, and you're wondering where that's coming from in your house.
Exactly. Where is that? What's making that sound? Yes.
Ken has the same problem with smells. Where'd that smell go? Oh, it's me.
He has 3 cats. He can always blame it on that.
All right. More things you could post on our Facebook feed. Things guys shouldn't do together. Listen to this.
2 grown men should not have sleepovers.
2 men shouldn't be riding a motorcycle together.
I think 2 grown men definitely shouldn't be dancing together. I don't think that it looks right when there's 2 men in a jacuzzi. There may just be buddies hanging out, but if there's no chicks in there, it just don't look right.
I was just saying 2 grown men should never go to the bathroom together.
All good points.
All good points.
I don't know if I was it mentioned in there because might have been focused on one of the answers, but I don't know. Two grown men going shopping together. I mean, like clothes shopping.
Oh, that'd be a little weird. Yeah.
That would be a little weird to me too.
The one that would be really awkward is two grown men giving each other back rubs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Brad is the king of the shoulder rubs, especially 3 whiskeys in. And so
exactly what I'm talking about, Val. Wow. The last guy I want rubbing my shoulders is somebody that's 3 drinks in.
So he tends to, kind of give everybody a shoulder rub. And most people appreciate it because who doesn't like a good shoulder rub? But it does make some of the men uncomfortable, which I kind of find funny.
I was having a back problem, and I had a friend who was not a masseuse. He says, I'm really good at back rubs, and just without asking, just started rubbing my back. And I was sitting there going, wow, I hope nobody walks into the radio station.
But who doesn't love a good back rub?
After a minute, you can just kind of go, all right, I'm just going to go with it.
And I don't care who walks in.
That's right. There's nothing going on here. All right, Val, looking to dinner. Reasons to eat macaroni and cheese.
Do we need a reason?
No, not really, but
Nobody.
There are some good ones.
All right. Ask any kid and they'll tell you mac and cheese is a year-round food. But if you had to choose a season or 2 when mac and cheese tastes best, it would be fall and winter, I think. True. It's kind of that comfort food. Yeah. Here's why we love mac and cheese. You can still eat it after you lose your teeth. Just gum that stuff. You can store it in your cheeks for between meal snacks.
Oh, your breath.
It protects your fall if you nod off the dinner table.
It does.
But if you snort one of those things up your nose, not really good. We're in trouble. It doesn't taste like Brussels sprouts. Yeah. There's that.
Perfect.
If you hold it to your ears, you can hear the wind rustling through the cheese fields.
Is that a thing?
If it is, I want to find that thing. Even if it clogs your arteries, the blood can still flow through those tiny little tubes. So, along that line, what's your favorite way to add some oomph to your mac and cheese? Take it up a notch.
Bacon.
Okay.
Bacon. I couldn't even come close to it, and I hate to plug this, but I'm going to do it anyways. I don't even know if they still have it. I've been gone for so long. But Safeway has like their generic TV dinners. I think the Safeway mac and cheese with bacon in it is one of the best things I've eaten in my entire life.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And it's like you're talking about comfort food. It's like, well, you're having a bad day, because I don't usually eat pasta, try to stay away from it, but there's sometimes I just break down, and we don't have any Safeways here. So, not a lot.
So is it like the deli section or the frozen section?
Frozen foods.
Oh,
yeah.
And like their signature brand?
Yeah. So but they've got a mac and cheese, then they have mac and cheese with bacon, and there's some kind of like, I don't know, this like what they put on the Maria calendars, which is also very good. The Vermont mac and cheese, it's like crumbles or something.
Oh yeah,
some kind of breading across the top of it that's slightly crunchy. So very good.
Now I know what I want for supper, but I don't want to go into town to hit a Safeway.
I'll be back. I'll be back in 20 minutes. I'm going for mac and cheese. Nothing else.
Exactly. Yum. I remember when we were kids, Mom used to, I suppose there was still Kraft mac and cheese at that point, the box stuff, but Mom used to make it with Velveeta. So it's homemade mac and cheese with that Velveeta. And so as an adult, I thought, I'm going to try that again, because I just remember how good it was when I was a kid. And now I realize I really detest the taste of Velveeta.
It was like a go-to snack. It was kind of a piece we were always handed it. And I think that kind of, it's like when we were kids, she was real big on giving you a piece of celery, and I can't eat celery today. I don't even want to see it in food.
Yeah.
Can't stand it. Can't stand the smell of it. And I think it's because growing up, that says, I'm hungry. Here's a stick of celery.
There you go. And I actually at Costco bought, because I'm like, I'm going to make homemade Velveeta mac and cheese. And so I bought it. Well, at Costco, of course, you get like 3 blocks of Velveeta. And I had to give 2.5 away because I was like, this is the most awful stuff I've ever tasted. And I wrecked mac and cheese over it too.
So do you remember Mom's other go-to cheat for an easy meal? It was macaroni, a can of stewed tomatoes, and creamer half and half poured over the top of it. And it still is as good today as it was then. That's all I'm saying.
I made that for Brad when we were first dating. And he was like, what in the heck?
You're going to be hungry in 15 minutes.
This? Yeah, he's like, where's the meat? Who does this? And I haven't made it since. But yeah, we were talking about it the other day, and he goes, honey, you know what? I actually think I'd be willing to try the macaroni with cream and tomatoes again. And I was like, oh.
Now, to some people, that'd be a side, a little pasta with stewed tomato stuff. But for us, that was the whole meal.
Yeah, and we thought it was great.
We got done, and we'd say things like,
I love carpet.
What I want to know, though, I made it at one point, too, and it kind of curdled, the tomato sauce curdled maybe I didn't use like whole cream. So maybe I used like a half and half, and it kind of almost curdled, the acid kind of almost curdled
ew, that doesn't sound good.
The cream. Right. No, so I don't know. I might have cheaped out and didn't use like
and it
heavy
wasn't tomato
cream
sauce. It was just a can of stewed tomatoes.
Exactly. Yeah. So give it a try out there.
And
let us know.
I made it for my kids, for Sammy and Lindsay, and they loved it. So there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Easy food. And with the price of food today, that might be all you can afford to eat.
Oh, no kidding.
But you might have to steal the noodles.
I think macaroni is still pretty cheap.
Hopefully. All right. Yeah, there's a macaroni shortage. All the macaronis were taken out by a hurricane. All right. Whether or not you make your bed can say a lot about you. All right. I've got a partner that makes the bed every single day, except for yesterday. And it made the whole world feel off kilter because when I walked in the bedroom, the bed wasn't made. It felt awkward.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I'd feel awkward when I walk in the bedroom and the bed is made.
Exactly. That's the way it used to be. All right. People make their beds every day. They'll listen to these traits. They're adventurous. They're confident. They're sociable. They can also be high maintenance. Nah. More likely to exercise regularly and eat a healthy diet. More likely to work in health or technology fields. More likely to be morning people and wake up without an alarm. Well, it goes too. On the other hand, people who don't make their beds, like Val, tend to exhibit these personality traits. Characteristically unorganized, but not necessarily scatterbrained. Does it fit, Val?
Okay.
She's like, I'm not. You're not unorganized. Your house is
not always organized.
Yeah, you guys are, both of you are very well put together. I don't know who's doing it, but somebody is. All right. You don't need to-do lists to get things done. Is that a true statement?
I'm not sure I agree with all this. If I want to make sure that I really don't forget anything, I do have my to-do list. But I don't feel like I have a cluttered home either. The only part of my home that's really cluttered would be the basement, and my art area is extremely cluttered.
That makes sense.
So, yeah. But at the rest of our house, I don't allow clutter to gather. So, yeah. Okay.
All right. People don't make their bed typically enjoy not knowing what happens next. More likely to be night owls and snooze their alarm before getting up. More likely to work in business and financial fields, and described as sarcastic, moody, shy, and curious. Basically, you should go make your bed.
I feel like it doesn't really fit me really well. So either I need to start, because I have more the characteristics of someone who doesn't or makes their bed than doesn't. So do I need to start making my bed or just say that the list is wrong?
You just say the list is wrong and go on living the way you have for 50-some years. Yeah.
Thank you. I like that. I appreciate that a lot.
Why change it up now?
Why? You're right.
It's like they came out and said all the plastics that you're nuking, even if they say they're safe, for putting microplastics into your food. And as I slid the next microwave meal into the microwave, I said, too late for me.
Why change now?
Why change now?
I've been doing this for 50 odd years.
I could go into shock. All right.
Kind of like, when you're going through withdrawals, right?
What do you mean by that, Val? All right. Since we got smartphones, things have changed. And here comes Val. And Val, you can paraphrase some of these. I know some of them are a little wordy. Things we don't do anymore thanks to smartphones.
Yeah. I don't know if there's anybody standing in line today, but the newest iPhones will be released today and unveiled today, we'll say that. But here are some of the things that we no longer have to do thanks to smartphones.
Okay.
We don't have to wait around.
Really?
Yeah. Remember when you kind of arranged to meet somebody at a certain spot, you get there, they weren't there, you'd wonder what was happening. Then you'd have to duck into a phone booth. Never did that. Or stop somewhere and borrow a landline to track them down. Now, if you're running late, a quick message or text gets you off the hook.
I was watching a television show that was set in the 70s called Dark Winds, and I was like, how did they survive without phones in their pocket? That seems so unproductive.
And I feel like you used to wait around, too, because you knew somebody was going to call. I can't leave because so-and-so is supposed to call me at this time, so you waited around for that, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to have any debates. Years ago, you might enjoy a debate over a beer or food or lunch or dinner table or whatever. You could have those questions going back and forth. Now there are no unanswerable questions and no unsolved mysteries. For the mobile phones we have, you can just look up that answer and, tell them, lay out the facts for them.
Yeah, just Google it.
Yeah.
Because everything on Google's true.
That's right. And we kind of tend to miss that a little bit when we're camping, which sounds really bad. But you start talking about something and you're like, oh, I wish I had that information because we'd share it as we're visiting around the campfire. And when you're out of cell phone range, that doesn't work.
When you come to like fake news and lies and things that aren't true, I was talking the other day and I remembered a statement I once made that the internet had been around for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. And the person I was talking to said, no, they haven't. And I said, yes, it has. They were called books.
There you go.
I had to explain that to our mother one time. It was like, just because it's in a book does not mean it's true. Anybody can write a book.
Yes, anybody can post on the internet.
Yeah, same thing.
But speaking of that, now that, nice little segue there, we don't have to own those heavy books anymore. You don't need an encyclopedia or dictionary. You just look it up online. Remember, people use reputable sources. This is a huge one. You don't have to learn to read a map anymore.
It's true.
Isn't it amazing? You used to have to unfold that thing and stretch it across, try and figure out where you're going, and then you could never get it folded back up right again.
When I drove to, now I've done it twice, when driving to the East Coast, I asked myself, and I've thought about that before, is this would have been impossible with a map, wouldn't it? It just, especially with construction and things like that, when you get into the big cities like New York and stuff and all the interchanges and different interstates, and it's so confusing. How did we do that with maps?
I know, because there was no voice saying, turn left in 100 feet.
Yeah,
as long as you know right from left, you're okay.
Yeah, it was the person next to you saying, I think it's up ahead.
Yeah, you just missed it. Print stuff, we don't have to do that anymore. Although, there's times you still need to. But yeah, you got your photos in your phone. You've got your maps, as we were just talking about. So yeah, you don't have to endure awkward situations. Excuse me, you still do. Found yourself sitting next to some weirdo on the bus who just wants to tell you about their collection of buttons or their life history. Stuck at an awkward date you can't see a way out of? Just pretend your phone is ringing or you got a text.
Oops, I gotta go. Mom's in the
You
hospital.
gotta go. Exactly. This is a huge one. You don't need to remember somebody's phone number, which kind of is a double-edged sword, though, right? I mean, if you lost your phone or forgot it, and now you
Need
have
to be
no
rescued.
Yes, and you can't remember.
Your family, anybody in your family's phone number. I've been in that situation. It's like, oh my
Yeah.
God, I don't know anybody's phone number.
I would have no idea what yours are. I know Brad's, the boys, and then his parents, because they still have the same landline number they've known since I married Brad 50 years ago.
Is it still a party line too?
No, it's not a party line, but yeah. So that would be that would be really hard to have to start remembering phone numbers again.
I was really worried about it when I was like, how am I going to get rescued? I don't remember anyone's phone number. And it's not like you can grab a phone book and look it up either.
Exactly. So, and somebody said one time, it was a meme, I think, where's all that space in our memory that we used to need for phone numbers? And it was like, now it's taken up with passwords.
Yeah. Because that was a human Rolodex. I could remember everybody's phone number, and it's all gone.
It's gone. You don't have to actually make phone calls anymore.
It's true.
You can just text or whatever.
Kind of sad.
Yeah. Listen to full albums.
I
Don't
did
have
that
to
the other
unless you want
night.
to.
Styx, The Grand Illusion. Listen to the whole album. Haven't done that in years where I listened to an entire album.
But it's funny because that's only, that's what you had to do back in the day. And so it's funny you remember all those songs that were never hits in any way or, never really got airtime on the radio. But you know them and you know the words because you used to listen to the whole album.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then run till we're tired of running. Now we track every step and every mile, then share it on social media.
Yeah, you didn't know how many calories you burned or anything like that.
How many steps you took. Yeah. Yeah. And I do find it a great motivator, though, to know, I like my smartwatch and saying, you haven't stood in an hour. Get off your lazy butt.
Ken says it's hard to have someone pull the wool over your eyes now. If you just don't believe it, you can Google it. And even if they're right, you can probably find the opposite opinion. I mean, that's pretty.
Well, that's part of it too. Yeah, and I think you struggle a lot of times with your friends that do not necessarily do their research, or when they do, they're doing it on. They're not doing it, like I said, from reputable sources. It's some extreme left, right, or extreme right conspiracy website. Mm-hmm. I mean, either of the extremes, left or right, you're going to get stuff that needs to be seriously considered as to whether it's true or not.
All right. Shout out to the beauty salon. Marion's getting her hair done, and she's watching the show. All right.
Oh, nice.
A little more off the top.
What? What?
All right. Let's wrap up bits and breaks with this one, Val. What did you find out after a first date that was a deal breaker? Now, you've been married to the same person for how many years? 39?
39. Yeah, so we've been together 40.
And I know you had a couple boyfriends in high school, but nothing serious. So was there anything that when you met Brad you thought might be a deal breaker?
Well, I don't know if any of it was a deal breaker, but I look back now and I suppose it wasn't a big deal 40 years ago, but I remember that he used to carry a little black comb in his back pocket and comb his hair.
What hair?
He had really curly hair back then.
That's right, he did.
Yeah. Yeah. So, not a deal breaker, but if somebody did that today, I might think, huh?
You're talking like one of the banana combs, or like
no, just that like straight black comb,
like an old-fashioned old man's black comb.
Yes,
the hard plastic. Now, yeah, that's a little creepy.
Yeah, I mean, back then I really didn't think that much of it. I guess. I mean, people did tend to carry a comb around, but now I would think,
that's a little odd.
Okay.
Did he have a pocket protector too?
No pocket protector. No, but he still teases me about the purple velvet shirt I was wearing when we were on our first date too. So
Goes both ways.
Goes both ways. Yeah.
Wow.
How about you?
I went on a date once, and I never. I think I went on. She was so pretty, I took her on a second date. But at both dates, I realized she had a problem. She couldn't walk by anything with a change chute without checking. I think I've told you this story before. I think I even told her she couldn't walk by a change chute on anything without rummaging through it to see if there was any change. At one point I shook my pants. I said, I got lots of change in my pockets here. You need some?
Did you have somebody too that you took her to a movie and she was crocheting?
She crocheted an entire blanket. It was pretty impressive, actually. Weird date Scott's been on.
How old was she?
That's when at the time, she was my age. It wasn't like I was dating an older woman, but she was channeling her inner grandma.
Grandma.
Yeah. And man, when she crocheted, it was like Chris Kattan on Saturday Night Live when he'd play the monkey boy and he'd eat the apples and he could eat an entire apple in 5 seconds and it would just pieces of apple were going everywhere. That's the way she crocheted. It was all arms and hands and bionics. The girl that rummaged for change, though, the end of the last date, when it was over, everyone, is we were leaving a Denny's, and there was a payphone in the foyer, and I saw her eye the payphone, and I accidentally, in trying to stop her and get in front of her to check the change slot first, I clotheslined her. And then ran to the thing and started rummaging through the change, acting like I was in panic, and when I turned around, she was not amused.
The end right there.
Yes. Luckily, the end. All right. All right. Let's see. First dates that were deal breakers. Some things people posted on Reddit that he had a restraining order against him from not one, but 2 exes. Also asked if he could move in with me on the first date.
Oh. Don't walk, but run.
Yeah. This one says, prior to our first date, he said he didn't have any kids. While he was driving me home after our first date, he mentioned that he hated letting his baby mama use his car because she's always messed with the radio.
Liar.
Asked if he could kiss me twice, and then to get around me saying no, kissed his fingers and touched my forehead and said, "This is my kiss to you."
Oh, my goodness.
Asked me to pay court fees. Another woman posted.
So, not only can you buy my supper, but can you pay my court fees?
This one told the lady that he told me he didn't cut his toenails because he liked to use them to scratch his legs. Does that work?
Oh, makes you wonder how long they were.
And last one here, my 27-year-old date paid for a nice dinner. As he was filling out the credit card receipt, he let it slip that he was using his mom's credit card. Yep.
Go ahead and run. Run home and cry to mama.
Probably what he did.
It should be a huge deal breaker when your mom realizes that she had to pay for him to get a woman.
Mom, I'm going on a date. Can I borrow the credit card, please? All right. Well, we come back, a few news headlines, some other fun stuff, and we wrap up the show, as always, with today's odd news. And we got some good ones. And Val, there's a wine story today that you'll really enjoy.
Oh, my God, I can't wait.
Yeah, the only trick is you got to stay right here. It's Northern Lights Public Radio. We are KCHW 102.7. Thanking sponsors, and we will be back. Please do not go anywhere.
You're listening to 102.7 KCHW, Chula.
The Public News Service NOAA Newscast, September the 12th, 2023. I'm Mike Clifford. Indiana is losing wetlands, even as the state has made some effort to protect them. Our Terry D tells us about one group's work to increase awareness.
Wetlands provide wildlife habitat, purify and recharge groundwater for drinking, and reduce flood risk by storing water. However, Indiana has lost up to 90% of its wetlands. The legislature provided some protection for the rest in 2021, but last year, a special task force found that shrinking wetlands are having significant negative effects on the environment. Indra Frank at the Hoosier Environmental Council says lawmakers should be doing more.
Now we have data showing that our state's wetlands law is not doing much in the way of protection. So the Indiana General Assembly certainly could make changes. They could also make changes to provide incentives for landowners to preserve or who restore wetlands.
Indiana has about 800,000 wetland acres, down from more than 5 million some 200 years ago, and with no statewide plan to manage them.
Now from CNN, a major hurricane Lee will continue to grow in size after a crucial northward turn midweek, which will determine the extent and severity of its impact on the Northeast, New England, Bermuda, and Canada. CNN reports Lee was a 120-mile-per-hour Category 3 hurricane on Monday. It was located well north of the Leeward Islands in Puerto Rico in the Atlantic Ocean. It's expected to weaken, but grow in size and speed up after it makes its northward turn in the coming days. Although it may be weaker, a larger storm has the potential to impact a more widespread area, increasing the likelihood Lee will affect the eastern seaboard. And if you travel through rural parts of Wisconsin, chances are you'll pass a dollar store. A new report says corporate retailers have too much of a presence in smaller communities.
The 2023 Rural Policy Action Report, which has input from nearly 30 organizations, urges federal policymakers to advance bills that would strengthen antitrust laws in hopes of seeing fewer mergers, including in agribusiness. Katie Milani is with the Independent Business Institute for Local Self-Reliance and contributed to the report. She argues big box chains have been given a lot of flexibility to add stores across rural America.
We have seen in the last 50 years significant consolidation in our economy. You go to any town across the country and a lot of them look the same. It's the same dollar stores, the same Walmart.
Her group notes the FTC needs stronger enforcement of laws addressing deals bigger retailers get from suppliers, allowing them to mark down prices. Chains like Dollar General defend their growth, saying they often get requests from rural areas for new stores. I'm Mike Moen.
This is Public News Service. Hundreds of thousands of Mainers are expected to benefit from the Biden administration's recent announcement that it will begin drug price negotiations with Medicare.
A list of 10 widely used medicines treating cancer, diabetes, and other conditions marks the start of a new program aimed at lowering what are some of the highest prescription drug prices in the world. State Director for AARP Maine, Noel Bonham, calls it a monumental step forward.
It will make a huge difference in the lives of Mainers, not just in terms of their financial security, but in terms of their general well-being, because then they're not having to make really tough choices.
Bonham says those choices often include paying for doctor-prescribed medications or paying for heat or food. Pharmaceutical companies have vowed to sue the federal government to prevent it from lowering drug prices, claiming it will prevent future drug research and innovation. I'm Catherine Carley reporting.
Over the next 4 years, Medicare will negotiate prices for up to 60 drugs covered under Medicare Part D and Part B, and up to an additional 20 drugs every year after that. Meantime, the focus at universities in the fall is getting students started in their new semesters, but increasingly schools are also doing more to recognize and address the mental health challenges of staying in school.
According to a Lumina Foundation study, almost 70% of students in bachelor's degree programs contemplate dropping out of college, citing the emotional stress. At William Peace University, student Alyssa Poteet says she's seen it firsthand. She says even after the pandemic, students continue to grapple with heightened stressors.
So they're very involved and they're in a new environment. Therefore, mental health issues are skyrocketing, and sometimes it's hard to find good resources.
Poteet says another challenge is that students hesitate to seek help due to to the absence of the regular healthcare provider or the inconvenience of scheduling appointments. Shantia Hudson reporting.
Finally, Edwin J. Vieira lets us know advocates for affordable housing in Virginia are holding a forum today for Richmond region candidates to speak with local residents about the state's housing crisis.
Across Virginia, the median rent has increased 24%. Earlier this year, the city of Richmond declared a housing crisis based on low housing inventory. Virginia's General Assembly has taken up legislation to aid with this issue in the past, though it hasn't always been successful. Laura Dobbs, with Housing Opportunities Made Equal, describes part of what the state could do.
The state needs to invest a lot in housing, both on the affordable side of simply preserving our existing affordable housing stock, building more affordable housing, but also on the homeownership side.
She adds the state has an opportunity to invest in a more robust down payment assistance program for homeowners.
This is Mike Clifford for Public News Service, member and listener supported. Here are some radio stations, big and small, your favorite podcast platform. Find our trust indicators at publicnewsservice.org.
It's 8:21.
Your KCHW morning show is made possible by donations from Chihuahua Flooring.
Chihuahua Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products, including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chihuahua Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Dell Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more information, you can visit online at chihuahuaflooring.com, call 509-935-8021, or via email at chihuahuaflooring@gmail.com.
Your KCHW morning show made possible by donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chihuahua. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414. KCHW-FM thanks God-Fearing Brothers for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
This is KCHW, Chihuahua, 102.7 FM.
We're back. It's KCHW 102.7. You got Scott and Val broadcasting live this morning. Thanks for being here. All right, we're going to move right into some community events that are coming your way. You should be aware of. Busy week in the city of Chihuahua. First up, tomorrow you've got free pickleball at the golf course between 9 and 11:30. Chihuahua Library offering tech help if you're technologically challenged. That goes on between 3 and 4. Then on the 14th, Taste of Chihuahua, put on by the Chihuahua Arts Guild. This is hitting the restaurants in the Chihuahua area, enjoying some sampling of the great food, taking in music, taking in art, and much, much more. That goes from 4:30 to 8:30. Ends with the closing of the silent auction that'll be taking place throughout the evening at the Quartzsite Brewery. Great time to go out and support the Chihuahua Arts Guild. And, of course, they use these funds to supply local people with scholarships, local kids. So what a great cause. And then looking ahead to Friday, 11 to 3:30, it is the Farmers Market. And then on Saturday from 6:30 to 9, another annual event. It's the annual fundraiser for the Chihuahua Chamber of Commerce. They do so much for tourism and local businesses, a chance to support them too. Annual auction and gala, there's a dinner and much, much more. Doors open at 4:30. It runs till 9 p.m. And that live auction, always a good time. So tons of stuff you can get out in Chihuahua and do as we head toward later in the week, starting on Thursday. So very, very fun.
All right. Chuila is a happening place.
It is a happening place. Let's throw this out. Got this in off our website at kchw.org. There's the Contact Us page, and you can submit public service announcements there. Stevens County offering a free community emergency response team. It's called CERT, and it's happening October 16th through the 19th. This is training to help during emergencies. Let's see. It's going at the Northeast Washington Fairgrounds. Courses are free, but volunteers need to register on the Stevens County Emergency Management website. Training is the first step to becoming a trained volunteer for Stevens County. Again, that's the 16th through the 19th. Looks like it goes each day from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And you must be 18 years old to register. So if you want to get involved with that, contact the Stevens County Emergency Management website. All right, we've got another one. Let me pull that up. This one, I think I actually pulled up the flyer on it. This is a Farm and Forestry Livestock Day demonstration. So you're invited to join them at the farm to learn about livestock processing, direct marketing, economics, and more from local operators, specialists, and agency personnel. They're going to have lots of great booths from local agriculture businesses and groups. It's called a field day, and they'll have something for everyone, regardless of the size of your operation or years of experience. Spend a day learning and connecting with your farming and ranching community. It is $10 for adults, free for 17 and under, and includes a barbecue lunch. This is going to be happening at 5281 Hattery Owens Road in Deer Park between 9 and 3. They're offering free booth spaces to businesses and entities involved in agriculture. If you want more information, the phone number 509-684-7579. So you'll be contacting the Stevens County Conservation District, 509-684-7579. Stevens County Conservation District, Washington State University, and WSU Stevens County Extension developed a partnership to collaborate with local community to establish a working lands experimentation facility, and you can check it all out. Very, very cool event. All right. That was a mouthful, but I made my way through it, Val.
You did great.
All right. McDonald's, moving on to some news headlines, is getting rid of all self-service soda machines. That's right. No more refills.
What? Say it isn't so.
It literally costs pennies on the dollar. Come on. Come on.
No kidding it. And two people can't eat there for under $30. So really? You can't give them free pop.
We were getting some Chinese food the other night at the grocery store to cook ourselves, and then we quickly realized it would be cheaper just to go to the Chinese restaurant and eat there. Isn't that sad? Isn't that sad?
It is, yeah. You know, some of the meals that you like that cost, I mean, when you start having to buy all the ingredients, like, you know, a good lasagna, to buy everything to make it, it's really expensive, or you can get a Stouffer's for half the price, you know?
Yeah,
and Stouffer's lasagna is pretty good.
Oh, you got to add a lot of cheese to it, though, I think. Lots of cheese. Lots and lots of cheese. That's all I'm saying. All right, musical artist, country artist Oliver Anthony has canceled his show at Nashville's Cotton Eye Joe due to too high ticket prices.
Oh, really?
Yeah, ticket prices were $40, and he says, you're charging people too much. He's looking for another venue for his show where he can do $25 a ticket and a free meet and greet.
I like that.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah. Instead of paying, you know, I think Taylor Swift cheapest ticket was $2,000. You know,
you have to be a millionaire.
Yes, and I think some of her tickets went for. I think there was one that went for $87,000. Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous.
Who would do that? And I bet you it wasn't even a meet and greet.
I don't know at that point, but that's bizarre to me. Yeah, you should be ashamed of yourself, Taylor.
That's right. Someone else that should maybe be ashamed. Conspiracy theorist Representative Margie Taylor Greene from Georgia called out on social media yesterday after she gave secession another shout out. She said, if the Biden administration refuses to stop the invasion of cartel-led human and drug trafficking into our country, states should consider seceding. You shouldn't do that on 9/11.
No.
Bad idea. She's full of them. She's got lots of ideas. They're just all bad.
It's like, just, you know, you wait for her to open her mouth and see what idiotic thing comes out of it next.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
All right. Sleepy Joe lived up to his name at a press conference over the weekend. You see this clip?
I did not. We were out camping all weekend.
It wasn't as bad as the clip from the Speaker of the House where he just kind of stood there confused for 20, 30 seconds. But he was rambling and not making any sense. They literally just kind of like cut his mic and said, press conference over.
Oh.
But he's had a lot of jet lag, traveling all over the country too. And he is 82.
Yeah.
So.
But, I'm sorry. This should be, I really do think that you need to have a top age limit.
Just like they have the bottom age limit. Don't you have to be 35 to run for office?
Something like that. Yeah. I really think they do. And I know that some people will call that ageism. But yeah, I just am running for another term. Yeah. I just think you guys should step out of the way and yet let some younger people take over. I'm on both sides of the aisle, and yeah, it's crazy.
We don't need term limits. We need age limits.
We do.
And term limits, but
I just know, I know family members in their 80s who, I'm not saying that they're not. I'm not saying that there's dementia or anything, but you get a little bit forgetful. Your health, you struggle with your health. You don't have the stamina of a younger person. There's just so much going on. I just really don't think that I'd want,
I could feel that starting in my 50s. I mean, sometimes I don't even know the difference between a good joke and a bad joke.
Yeah, there's things that you just kind of forget.
Yeah.
And you're out of touch with what younger people are going through. You're out of touch with technology. There's so much that I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You just need to retire.
Remember, it's the same kind of thing if you can think back with Ronald Reagan. His second term, he was not capable, and you kind of wonder who's running the show because he can't make it through a press conference.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
And can you imagine, well, let's see, elections in 2024. Can you imagine 5 years from now if he had another term? I mean, what do we get at year 5 with, what the struggles we see now? So
what I don't understand is, as you've gotten to that age, is it still all about the money? Because why would you want to be at his age to go through the rigors of being the president? And the same thing for Mitch McConnell. Don't these guys have grandkids they want to spend some time with, or relax, take a trip that the taxpayers aren't paying for?
And just not be under the constant scrutiny either.
Yeah.
I mean, people checking out every aspect of your life and criticizing, and I mean, even down to us criticizing his age. But I mean, just to be under that type of a microscope, I mean, I just want to be able to be like, I'm 80, I'm going to do and say whatever I want, and you can take it or you can leave it. Right. So, yeah, I really wish that he would decide not to run for another term. So
something that's kind of weird about all this is over the weekend too, the amount of news stories coming up online with Camilla, the vice president, on them have skyrocketed to where you never really hear about her, to where the other day there was 6 different stories on my news feed revolving around here, and I was like, that's a little different. So
do you think that they're trying to make her more out in the public eye just in case she does have to step in for him?
I think so. Or maybe to build confidence in him running again. But I don't think it's going to work for a lot of folks.
No. And it's sad because you look at even Democrats who there's only 30% of Democrats who think he should run again. So, when your own party is saying, dude, please. Yeah.
You would think at that point, just for the sake of the politics and the party involved, that you would step down. So
Don't you see it on both sides, though? The people that are the Republicans that are sticking by Trump no matter what. I mean, they're still saying they're going to support him if he's the nominee. They're sticking by him no matter what. And we wonder how can they do that? But it's the same thing on the left of, he's got it in him. He can do another 4 years. Everything's good. Instead of them saying, dude, so I think it's just sticking by someone because they have a D or an R after their name.
Yeah.
Not
okay.
I struggle with that. Yeah. So.
All right. Before we get ourselves in trouble, we'll move along and let's venture on to celebrity birthdays. Today it's Linda Gray from Dallas turning 83. Joe Bantelio from The Sopranos and The Matrix is 72. Comedian Louis C.K. wasn't he? He was shamed out of existence, but he is 56 today. Yeah, we came up on the list. I don't think we're supposed to talk about him. Benjamin McKenzie from Gotham and Southland is 45. Jennifer Hudson, she's an America's Got Talent winner, 42. Alfie Allen from Game of Thrones, 37. Emily Rossum, Phantom of the Opera and Shameless, is 37. And Sydney Sweeney from Euphoria and The White Lotus, 26. On to history we go with my sister Val.
All right, this day in 1953, Massachusetts Senator John F. Kennedy married Jacqueline Lee Bouvier in Newport, Rhode Island. 2001, President George W. Bush labeled the previous day's terrorist attacks acts of war and asked Congress for $20 billion to rebuild and recover. It's hard to believe it's been that long ago.
Wow.
So, yeah. 2013, the Duke of Cambridge Prince William completed his last shift as a search and rescue helicopter pilot in the Royal Air Force. 2013 as well, NASA's Voyager 1 space probe made history by advancing past the solar system, becoming the first man-made object to reach interstellar space. 2017, a monster fatberg, 820 feet long and 130 tons, was found in the sewers under East London. Fatberg? Is it monster? What's a fatberg?
I don't want to know.
Is that a typo? I'm going to have to look that up now.
Like an iceberg, but it's made up of fat, maybe?
Oh, maybe that's it. Oh, yeah?
Fatberg.
820 feet long and 130 tons. Wow. That's an interesting clog right there. The world's...
I was going to say, it wasn't me.
It wasn't me. 2021, finally, the world's largest container ship, the Ever Ace, carrying 23,992 containers, arrived in Felixstowe, England on its maiden voyage. Whoop-de-doo.
Made it into history, though, and that's all that's important.
It did. I guess so.
All right. Special event today. It's Ants on a Log Day.
They're back to Scott's celery. You can't dress it up even if you put peanut butter and raisins on it.
Chocolate Milkshake Day. Everybody get into one of those, right? National Day of Encouragement. You go.
You're doing great, Scott.
Thank you.
Keep doing it.
You can do it. That's all we got.
All night long.
All right. It's Hug and High Five Day.
Oh, there you go, bro.
All right. Policewoman Day.
All right.
Is it wrong to say that's totally hot?
It's wrong, but it's totally you.
I'm wrong. I'm just wrong. And Video Games Day. Huh.
You got asteroids? No, but my dad does. Can't even sit on the toilet some days.
Sorry. It's funny that I've actually been able to play that twice.
I'm not surprised.
All right, let's see.
Yeah.
And the number for the day, Val?
It's 54, and that is the percentage of, this is sad, percentage of U.S. adults with a literacy below the 6th grade level.
54%?
Yes.
Wow, I would have never guessed that.
No. Yeah, that's a little bit discouraging.
It is.
And I would say 95% of them are in Congress.
She didn't really. Yeah, she did say that.
I did say that. I should have just said in politics. We won't even in politics.
All right. One little story here before we head for odd news, or maybe two. First, from our News and Nuggets department, the IRS wants its money from millionaires who haven't paid enough. Earlier this year, it was announced that 80,000 new IRS agents will be hired over the next 10 years. A few hotheads decided to spin it and claim the IRS will be raiding the average American's home. That was a hoax, and here's what's up. What the IRS is doing with some of its new agents is going after millionaires who aren't paying their full share. IRS announced it will investigate 1,600 millionaires and 75 large business partnerships, with the millionaires owing at least $250,000 each in back taxes, and the partnerships all with assets averaging $10 billion. In July, the IRS collected $38 million in delinquent taxes from 175 taxpayers in high-income brackets. Question is now, where'd that money go?
Well, there's that. Yeah. There is that. Yeah, and I think that became a hot topic in the last election, claiming that they were hiring all these IRS people to come after you, the common man. And it wasn't true.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's wrap up the show and do it with some breakfast of fun.
Slap some bacon on a biscuit and let's go. We're burning daylight.
It's the world of strange. A world gone wacky.
Out here, due process is a bullet.
And some of the scariest people on the planet.
I think you're bluffing. Be afraid. You know, you look mighty pretty when you get mad.
It's your odd news on KCHW.
Just sit back and enjoy the show.
All right, we always kick off your odd news with a news attack where the first sentence is true and the second sentence is not a good joke. And Val, you get to start.
A pair of studies found that poor dental hygiene boosts the risk of heart attack, strokes, and not having a girlfriend.
Ooh. It's true. Church in Austin is doing 3 Sundays with an AI-generated sermon. Siri, pray for our sins, and also set a timer for 10 minutes.
Turn out the lights.
Yeah.
They also said if the terms and conditions for salvation, it will let you know what those are.
You have to click on it before you can move along.
You have to click I agree.
According to a survey, the top 3 goals of Americans over 50 are weight loss, writing a book, and taking a big trip. Numbers 4 is discovering new ways to add flavor to oatmeal. Horrible. I'm over 50.
I know. And the things that you add flavor also add sugar. A study found that you'll get a better night's rest if you let your dog sleep in your room.
Okay.
Plus, when you sleepwalk, the dog gets some exercise as well.
1 in 10 adults say they're too busy to drink more water. Sorry, I can't possibly find the time in between consuming pizza slices, McNuggets, and Slim Jims. Does milk count?
Yeah. You don't want to fill up on water when there's, and take up room that you would use for pizza slices, McNuggets, and Slim Jims. A study found that lack of sleep does not impair a surgeon's ability. Unless you're really picky about which leg he amputates.
Not at all. No, not a problem. All right, do the next one, too, because I got a couple from yesterday I want to share.
All right, the federal government, I'm having trouble. The federal government approved COVID-19 vaccines Monday. And Newsmax approved updated vaccine conspiracy theories the same day.
To the max, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Team of researchers in Korea have developed a robot that can fly an airplane. True stuff.
Okay. All right.
Just 2 settings, though. Autopilot and autopilot. And then I saw this one. According to a study, kids who make music turn out to be nicer. And kids who aren't skilled in music grow up to be more like Justin Bieber. I could be just old, but I don't get the beat of the music. It's like it's got some extra beats and no rhythm.
See, there's some of his songs I really don't mind, but yeah, a lot of our teenage our musicians that started out as teenager also struggled with a lot of different issues.
Okay. Let's see. I think that's the last one. Let's move on to Wacky But True. We don't add anything to these stories, but perhaps a movie or a television sound clip. And Val, you get to kick it off again.
All right, police in Spain said a dress-wearing bank robber was actually a man. The mustache was the giveaway. He was easily spotted by police a couple of blocks from the bank.
Oh, mustache, you say?
I thought you still had a piece of salad stuck to your lip from lunchtime.
They were fake?
Of course they were fake! This is what a real mustache looks like.
Yeah. Searched all over for a sound effect from Family Guy where Peter says, "With great mustache comes great responsibility."
If you haven't seen the show A Million Ways to Die in the West with Seth MacFarlane, you have to watch that. They have a whole thing on with the mustache thing. It's pretty funny. You got to check that out. Yeah. And I'm trying to think of the actor that played the guy with the mustache. He's a well-known actor. Oh, I'm drawing a blank now. I can't think of his name. But anyway, check it out. Million Ways to Die in the West.
In the UK, a man tried to break into a home by climbing through a window. As he snaked his way inside, somehow one of his shoelaces got tangled up in the window latch, and he found himself dangling upside down. Halfway inside the window, halfway out. The more he struggled, the more tangled up the shoelace became, and the tighter it held his shoe on his foot. And that's how the homeowner found him when he returned home, hanging in his window. Here's what the lady of the house had to say.
Yeah, for what?
Don't act dumb.
I'm not acting.
Not at all.
Pretty much. A mugger in Italy got more than he bargained for when the woman he tried to rob possessed certain skills. When a man approached the woman and asked for a cigarette, she told him she didn't smoke. He allegedly lunged for her and grabbed her around the neck. The woman, who works as a prison officer, immediately put her black belt training to good use, delivering 2 swift jabs to the man's face, which sent him crashing to the ground. I want to see that.
Yeah, where's the video? Come on.
Yeah, no kidding.
A video for everything. All right, dog ate a game controller. Dog in Spain had to be taken to the vet after eating a video game controller. You can tell if your dog's eating the video game controller because these are the sounds that come out of them. Uh-oh.
I was waiting for the asteroids one.
You want me to play it again?
You got asteroids? No, but my dad does. Can't even sit on the toilet some days.
All right, you happy?
Thank you. Thank you. A small town in Portugal had a shocking incident over the weekend when a river of red wine flooded through its streets. Did you see the video for this?
It looks
crazy. It looks delicious. I mean, how do you not get out a glass or a straw
and
or
it's
something?
pretty. It's all purple.
Yeah. The incident occurred after 2 tanks containing 600,000 gallons of red wine broke open at a nearby distillery. The town, home to around 2,000 residents, saw the wine flow through the streets like a scene from Stephen King's The Shining.
But if it was wine, everybody would be running around going, Jesus is here! The streets are filled with wine. Nobody's panicking. They're all happy.
Oh, yes.
Man. All right, last one. A piglet that fell from a transport truck on Ohio highway was rescued. Oh, I forgot your sound effect, Val. This is for you.
Bring us some
thank you.
fresh wine. No more of this old stuff.
That's right. I want some of the stuff that's in the street.
Yeah. I was going to say, none of the stuff that ran down the street. I want some fresh stuff.
Fresh wine? I want the street wine. That's the kind of guy I am. All right. Piglet fell from a transport truck on Ohio highway, was rescued by police, and was given a new permanent home. Troopers from the Ohio State Patrol responded to a report of a pig running loose on the side of US 335. Video footage shows troopers chasing after the piglet, which had apparently fallen from the back of a transport truck. Piglet named Pearl was taken to a local humane society. Pearl is said to be healthy, aside from some road rash. And will be cared for by a volunteer until she can join her other pot-bellied friends.
Alrighty then.
I think I have one for this.
You bring news of the pig.
Yup, yup. He's a big pig. Yup, yup. You can be a big pig too. Oi!
That was a perfect way to end the show. Oi! All right, coming up tomorrow, big surprise on the radio. Get this, Val. You don't even know this. This is hot news delivered right here. All right?
All right,
Sharon Ludwig joining the cast of your Wednesday morning show starting tomorrow.
I want applause for that.
Yes. All right. She's going to help take the place of Mike Bentz, delivering some of that community news and stuff. So we're thrilled to have Sharon join myself and Chuck Ritchie tomorrow. So much fun. I hope you can be here. Also, a warning, too, last week of live shows, at least with me, maybe Chuck will be able to round up some people and take over, but I've got to do some traveling and kind of an unintended vacation. But I will show up at your house, Val.
All right.
Just saying. I'm going to want food.
Oh, and you know that hug and high five day?
Yeah.
It's coming next week as well, I think.
Okay.
Now, what did you want for the menu?
Oh, my gosh. Well, maybe since Brad said it, we'll need some macaroni, cream, and tomatoes.
Okay.
And, I don't know. You're delicious. Your food's always delicious, so you can.
I didn't know if you wanted, homemade chicken noodle soup.
That would hit if we both of those, yeah. So
okay.
That'd
all right.
be great. All right.
You're going to do like a pasta overload binge coma type of thing.
All right. I'll need it because then I got to drive back across the country, and I'm sure that'll take like 6 or 7 days. So. All right, but I'm picking up more people and transporting them to Maine.
Yeah. The mass exodus.
Yeah. No, just a kid. So happy to come get her and have her living out here with us. So excited.
Oh, nice. Nice.
All right. You have a great rest of your day. Please tune in tomorrow and check out Chuck Ritchie, myself, Scott Allen, and Sharon Ludwig. And a big one more round of applause for my sister Val, all the way from Deer Park.
Thank you.
And you have a great day. Keep on listening to Northern Lights Public Radio. We appreciate you.
The broadcast from World Control.